On.
Hello, football fans. Welcome back to Hurdle the Line. This is your week 4 review show. I don't know why I have gotten in this bad habit, Tom, of pausing when I do these intros and not just talk like a normal human being. How are you doing, Tom? Good to see
I'm
you.
doing good. Yeah, yeah. Couldn't ask for a better weekend, really, sport wise. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Amazing.
lots. Yeah, both our teams won this weekend, which is nice. A lot of good college football. My team did not win.
That was
Ryder
an incredible
Cup,
game, though.
baseball ending, lots of fun stuff. We're going to get into all the NFL talk here in just a second. We should mention, we'll get in the news here in a second too, but we should mention, congratulations, Europe. You won. And apparently American fans are horrible, from what I hear. I
Yeah.
do not condone pouring beer on the wife of a athlete. That just seems like
Mm.
a dumb decision. But anyway,
Europe got the
sorry for
last
us
laugh,
being
so that was fun.
well, sorry for our classist fans, but I was really actually excited when they started coming back because I'm on a big text group and I'm one of like 3 Americans on with like 12 other people, and it's a fantasy thing. And the the Brits and the Netherlands guys on there were just talking so much crap. So I was just when we started coming back, we got very excited about it. If you don't know what we're talking about, Ryder Cup, golf, exciting. But we're here to talk about NFL football. Let's cover some news really quick. We saw a rising star get injured yesterday, who I now know is an ACL tear. It's, Malik Neighbors making a really amazing, big catch up in the air, just came down wrong. He is going to be out now for the rest of the season. Really disappointing. Um, for Giants fans, but also just for football fans and fantasy fans. So, because he was having a really great year so far and was looking like a stud. So, we hope he gets better quickly and we get to see him back out on the field next season as soon as possible. Also, Joe Alt got hurt yesterday, but I think it is not going to be season ending. It's like maybe a few games, from what I
Yeah, yeah.
understand.
High
Chargers
ankle
first of all,
sprain for
yeah.
him, and obviously the backup um, right tackle then came in, and they kind of struggle with the rest of the game. But yeah, hopefully, yeah, Joe will probably be out a couple of weeks, so that'll impact them.
Yeah. And then the biggest news over the weekend that wasn't a game was, of course, the big announcement. Bad Bunny will be doing the halftime Super Bowl show. Um I couldn't name you one Bad Bunny song. I'm sure I've listened to them, but I don't know. Uh
Yeah, I think if you heard the songs, that you know who it is, but it's not
yeah.
someone who you instantly just recognize being like, oh, that's Bad Bunny. So yeah, I'm sure it will be a good show, but
Uh,
yeah.
I will go ahead and say, and it becomes very true. And when you're like in your teens and 20s, you're like, I'm never gonna get too old for new music. I'm not too old for new music, but I couldn't tell you. I mean, I listen to bands that have been around, but I can't tell you the name of a song of almost anything that I listen to, which is just very, and it's not because like I'm old, it's just more because like I just don't pay attention and I'm like,
Mm.
it's just, I don't know. Is that weird?
Uh, no, I think that's pretty normal. I think people don't always remember the names of songs and stuff.
No. Anyway, moving right along. This weekend also saw us start the international series. Oh, by the way, we should mention Ollie wasn't able to make it today. He's usually our threesome. It's always good magic when the
Three
three of us are here.
Stooges.
Yeah, so but we'll do our best today. And we're grateful also to our friend super producer Fletch. I'm again still 4 weeks in. It's still like I'm grinding out tape here and just trying to get back on the level. Anyway, yes, so we this is very special for us because it was the first game ever in Ireland, in Dublin. Looked amazing. It was the Steelers and the Vikings. Let's go ahead and make that our first game. Not necessarily because the game was amazing, though it had some interesting parts, but just because, you know, we love internet. One of the things we love is the international series. Um, One thing I thought was really interesting was how bad Carson Wentz was,
Mm.
but they were still in this game pretty much throughout. But the other thing that's really interesting is how little um, Rodgers has to do in this offense, and it still pretty much works. Did you get to watch the whole game?
I didn't get to watch all of it, just because I was kind of busy earlier in the day on Sunday, but I did kind of catch up with the highlights. And as you said, yeah, Carson Wentz struggled. It doesn't help when you got nearly a backup offensive line out there for the Vikings.
Yeah.
Um, they were still good offensively in terms of, getting the ball to Justin Jefferson, and also getting Jordan Addison back. That 1-2 punch, that helped them. But fair play to the Steelers. Yeah, as you say, Aaron Rodgers in this offense, he doesn't have to be a superstar. When you got Jalen Warren there, and especially with the kind of yards after the catch that the Pittsburgh Steelers are getting at the moment, uh, especially with DK Metcalf.
D-Math,
He
yeah.
got like a
I was going
he
to
got
mention
he
him.
got a
Yeah.
long touchdown.
He had a great
Um,
touchdown in the game.
yeah, really, really good touchdown. And yeah, the Steelers kind of grinded it out towards the end. Vikings had a chance. Carson Wentz threw it up, and that was all she wrote, really. But it looks like the Steelers defense has kind of turned it around from the first couple of weeks, and seems to be playing a lot better ball. And now they're 3-1. So yeah, but no, and great spectacle at Croke Park, and sure the Irish fans look like they were absolutely loving it. So.
Yeah, they looked like they were having a great time. And I know they sing Zombie after the
Hmm.
game, which is what they do there, which I find very odd, but cool. Yeah, it was cool to see a lot of
You
NFL
know who
media
that's
over
by
there.
Chapman?
Yeah, it's the Cranberries.
There you go. So you do know some songs.
Yeah, I know that. It's because from the 90s. Dude, of course I know that. Yeah, not there was Justin Jefferson also and Addison. And if you had Addison on your bench the last 3 weeks, him coming off his suspension, huge game. I of course had him and didn't start him.
Hmm.
Hooray! Oh, and that was more not because I chose not to. I have too many fantasy teams. I just didn't check that one. But anyway, um, do we know anything about JJ McCarthy's injury and like when he's gonna come back? Like, and do we?
No, it feels like it was almost like a soft benching sort of thing more than any.
Ah,
I don't know. Like I feel like there hasn't been a lot of reports around it just to say that it was an ankle injury and it'd be out 2 to 4 weeks. But we haven't had any reporting about whether he's been at practice or anything like that. So it's kind of
right.
gone a bit under the radar. So interested to know, but yeah, we'll see.
I just think it's really interesting that I don't know. Are you going Carson Wentz now? Like
Mm,
it just doesn't make any sense. But anyway, who knows? You know what, Tom? I think the first game I really want to pay attention to, which I thought was again wasn't it was awesome because we got to see something we hadn't seen in many games. And that is Patrick Mahomes throwing for 4 touchdowns and looking like the Patrick Mahomes that we all know and fell in love with years ago. Chiefs offense really was clicking. Xavier Worthy was back. Really seemed like that was just a missing component there. And you guys, I mean, it really you crushed the Ravens. I don't think the Ravens had a shot. Like even though they scored 20, 37-20. Talk to us about this game and give us some feedback on the Ravens too at the end, please.
yeah, so the tales of my demise are greatly exaggerated.
Oh,
And
you've been
that
saving that
that
one.
that is a quote by Mark Twain. And that is, that was the epitome of this game, kind of from both sides, in all fairness. But the Chiefs kind of, as you say, they rolled the Ravens in this game. The offense was back at full tilt. Mahomes, had receivers. He actually had receivers, good receivers on the field. Having Xavier Worthy back just brings a different element to this offense. He led the Chiefs in both rushing and receiving, 122 total yards for him. You had touchdowns for Juju Smith-Schuster, Hollywood Brown, Kareem Hunt. Some of the play calling was really, really good as well from the Chiefs. I thought it was going to be a different game. The Ravens came down the field initially, really good opening drive, especially with Derrick Henry just running through, the Chiefs defense, teeth of the Chiefs defense. And they scored a touchdown in the opening drive, and I thought, okay, this is going to be, a good game back and forth. But then after that, the Chiefs defense, Steve Spagnuolo had an excellent, game plan for Lamar Jackson. The Chiefs have Lamar's number, and he looked kind of like a bit lost out there at times. They were bringing pressure from everywhere. There was a nice pick from Leo Chenal, the linebacker, in coverage. That was really nice one-handed pick. And that was Lamar's first turnover of the year as well. But yeah, the Chiefs just kind of rolled in this game. Even at halftime, there was a point where it almost swung though, because the Chiefs miss a field goal, the Ravens go down, get the field goal, so it's kind of a 6 point swing. Um, but to make it a kind of a 10 point game, but then the Chiefs just put pedal to the metal and ended up destroying the Ravens were ravaged in all fairness defensively. The defensive line
Yeah.
was absolutely ravaged. They were missing Madubuike in this game. They were missing Carl Van Noy. Then, even on the offensive line as well, Ronnie Stanley goes out early in this game. Marlon Humphrey goes out. So they were just dealing with so many injuries, but the Chiefs just absolutely pieced them up. Patrick Mahomes back at the upper echelon where he should be, throwing 4 touchdown passes for the first time since November 2023. And Lamar Jackson, people say he might quit on his team towards the end. I think he probably did actually have an injury.
Had an injury.
But at that point, it was out of hand anyway. Cooper Rush came in and it was garbage time. It was quite nice watching a blowout win in the fourth quarter and knowing that nothing was going to happen where we were going to lose. So, but yeah, statement win for the Chiefs. The Chiefs are back and yeah.
Yeah. And the Chiefs go to 2-2 while the Ravens go to 1-3. Uh, yeah, and also we're gonna talk about it later. You see the Chargers lose, and again, we got a competitive division, which we knew the AFC West would be. Any other things of this game? I just want to note Xavier Worthy had 38 yards rushing and also 83 yards receiving. Sorry, catching. Um, Big day for him. But Mahomes spread the ball around a good bit too, which was nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, he
And
threw he threw 4 touchdown passes to 4 different receivers.
Yeah,
It was kind of the Chiefs' dynamic offense that they wanted to see. Getting Wordy back just brings that different element, especially down the field. He had a couple of nice catches as well. Obviously against a Ravens defense that was struggling coming in, but they just got the doors blown off them really. And
yeah,
Mahomes just owns Lamar. He's 6-1 now against Lamar Jackson, and that Chiefs defense, I've got to give all the flowers to Steve Spagnuolo with the way that he just schemes it up and, brings different blitzes, simulated pressures, all those sort of things, and makes it tough for Lamar. So, and Derrick Henry as well. One thing the Ravens didn't do, which, you know, if they want to create a chance in this game, after they go up 7-0, give Derrick Henry more than 8 carries in the game. He's one of your
right.
best players, and you give him 8 carries and he gets 41 yards. They get that garbage time touchdown to make it somewhat respectable. But yeah, it was way out of hand at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, let's move on to a weird game, which I watched the 15-minute highlights of right before dinner, and that was the Sunday Night Football with Green Bay in Dallas. The return of Michael Parsons to Dallas. It ends in a 40-40 tie.
Mm.
Because the Packers decide to tie the game instead of trying to win the game at the end in overtime, which was quite weird. It was a very fun game, a lot of scoring. Uh, with CeeDee Lamb out, George Pickens had a huge day, 2 touchdowns, 130 yards. We saw the Packers receivers do what the Packers receivers do, where everybody gets 60 to 70 yards each. But Dobbs had 3 touchdowns, which big game changer for him. Ooh. Dak looked awesome. Jordan Love looked okay. He looked good, but that I thought the Dallas defense was really giving him a lot of fits yesterday. Um, anyway, really fun game to watch on a quick highlight reel. Did you watch? You stayed up last night, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It seemed, the Green Bay were going to run away with it. It was 13-0 at one point. Two touchdown drives. and they were kind of clicking on all cylinders. And then there was kind of a shift in momentum with the extra point getting blocked and then returned for 2 points for the Dallas defense. And that seemed to, switch things up. And Dallas just played great in this game. As you said, Dak Prescott, he was poised in the pocket. He was, finding the receivers at the right time. He was, dealing with the pressure and throwing like just hitting people in stride. He had a great game. I thought Jordan Love had a great game as well. But yeah, they it was just one hell of a game, really. I think there was 31 points in the fourth quarter or something like that. So it was like
Right.
4 or 5 lead changes in the fourth quarter. Then it goes to, overtime. Um, then, Michael Parsons, who didn't really have much of an impact in this game. I don't know if like the Cowboys just kind of the offensive line played pretty well for them, but he did have a very big play. It looked like Dak Prescott was going to go in for the go-ahead touchdown in overtime,
Yeah.
only for him to get pulled down by Michael Parsons,
Michael
and
Parsons, yeah,
they had to
making
go
a
for the field goal. And then the end of the game was just the craziest part of it, really, with terrible clock management. They get down with plenty of time to try and maybe go for the end zone again, and then go for the field goal for the tie. But absolutely awful clock management. I mean, they left themselves 1 second on the clock, and they're lucky it was 1 second on the
yeah,
clock.
they're very lucky.
Very, very lucky. So that was, yeah, very interesting for the Packers there. But the Packers defense, after, a couple of good weeks, has kind of regressed,
Yeah.
especially in this game, giving up 40 points. Um, and the Dallas offense is still hanging about. As you say, George Pickens had a great game, 2 touchdowns. Cavonte Turpin, Jalen Tolbert, all these guys kind of chipped in. So yeah, it was one heck of a game on Sunday Night Football. Nice to have a game that lives up to the hype.
And this the first time that we've seen these overtime rules in
Uh,
this year? I mean, I know they're new to this year, but in
mm,
the regular season.
yeah,
So
I feel like it's the first time we've seen them this year, to be
right.
fair.
What's your thought on it? What you got any hot takes on
I
anybody?
like it. I think maybe they should make it so instead of it's 10 minutes, it's just a full quarter for overtime. I don't know if
Yeah,
that
it
would be
felt weird
maybe
that
a
it's only
smart.
10 minutes.
It was weird. It was weird. Yeah, it feels like it would almost be better if it was like the overtime rules that they had in the Super Bowl, where it goes from one overtime to the next one until like the other one scores a touchdown, kind of like in college.
Right.
Um, that would kind of be a bit more exciting because you do feel a bit deflated when it's 44 and it ends in a tie, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
What's happened here? Um, but nonetheless, it was still, a great game, great play from both the offenses, and the defenses couldn't stop a cold. So yeah,
Please explain to me why you stayed up till 5:30 to watch this game.
I don't know. I don't know. I just I started watching it, and then I was like, when it was 13-0, I was like, oh, I might turn it off. But then they scored, then they got the defensive thing, and then I was just keeping a keen eye, and I was like, oh, okay, no, this turned into a good game. And next thing you know, I'm glued to it until 5 a.m. or something. So
That's hilarious. All right, let's move on. Let's go to Eagles Bucks. And I'm trying to pull up the score here. Sorry, Tampa Bay wins
no,
31-25.
you
It's
mean
very, oh,
Eagles win 31-25?
sorry. Eagles win 31-25. This one was ugly for the Eagles in the second half, where they didn't even
Mm,
get a completion, but they still won. Where you thought Baker Mayfield might bring this Bucks team back, but it just was the defense was just too good in the end on the Eagles' part. Um, it was it was weird. It was like a boring game if the Eagles had the ball, but every time the
mm,
Buccaneers had the ball, I was like I couldn't stop watching it because it was on at the same time, obviously, as my game. Another game where AJ Brown gets 9 targets but 2 catches, 7 yards. Barkley has a pretty pedestrian day. Jalen Hurts, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, but they still win. They still just
mm.
keep winning. Um, did you get a chance to check this one out?
I did. I was watching it. I was watching it on Red Zone, during the early window. And yeah, the Eagles they got the defensive touchdown to start with, blocking the punt. That was, really, really good special teams play
Yeah.
that put them up. And next thing you know, it feels like they're out of sight when it's 24-6 or 24-3.
Yeah.
Then the Bucks kick a 65-yard field goal, which is, one yard shy of the record, or tying the record at least, to
Right.
make it 24-6 at halftime. But then, yeah, in the second half, they seem to, play so well. And the Eagles, I don't know what it is. Like they had it in the first half against the Rams last week. The second half here, they were just anemic. They weren't doing anything in the second half. They have -1 total yards of offense in the second half, and they somehow still won, which, it's a credit to the defense more than anything, against the Bucks, because there were multiple times when Baker Mayfield kind of took off trying to get a first trying to get a first down. And he was kind of stopped or corralled. Obviously, the game kind of ending interception when they're driving down as well. He had some great plays in this game as well, though. I mean, the guy's just an absolute gamer. A touchdown pass to Emeka Ibuka. Well, actually two. He had one, which kind of a bit of a blown coverage. The second one was just a beautiful throw, and next thing they've worked their way back in this game. But I wanted to shout out Zach Bourne for the Philadelphia Eagles defense, the linebacker. He had an incredible play. Bucky Irvin kind of going north and south, found an open lane, and then Bourne, I don't know how he had it, the sideline to sideline speed to, cut off the play, and then force the Bucks to punt was incredible. So, he's absolutely shining in Philadelphia. Is Zach Bourne.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I'd be feeling if I was an Eagles fan, because obviously, they're 4-0. It's great, but it doesn't feel like they've played their best game yet, really, overall. But if you can still grind out wins and you're 4-0, then you got to be pleased that, when you do get clicking on all cylinders, then you're gonna be one hell of a team to beat.
Yeah. And honestly, like I was really hoping, weirdly, I was cheering for the Bucks, even though I
Hmm.
shouldn't be, only because it legitimizes like, okay, like when your team's played that team and you're like, the Bucks are pretty good, but I just think the Eagles are even playing this like not doing anything on offense, basically the second half. They're just so elite that they don't have to. I don't know. It was interesting.
I know.
But I will, but go ahead.
I just have one more thing. There was a really nice play for one of the Eagles' touchdowns, by Saquon Barkley. They faked as if they were going to do the tush push, and then they handed the ball off to him for him to just waltz him for a touchdown, and that was beautiful to watch. Having hated to watch the tush push, so seeing a fake tush push to
Yeah,
a nice play that was good.
I heard about this fake tush push. I think I missed it during the thing. But also shout out to Bucky Irving. He had
Mm.
102 yards receiving, a touchdown, and another 63 on the ground.
Unfortunately,
He
fumbled
was
as
a
well,
stud.
but that was kind of
Huh?
questionable as well. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But he had a didn't he? I think he had a 80-yard catch, I think, at one point. Let me see.
yeah, he was cooking.
Yeah, a 72-yard touchdown from
Mm.
Baker, man. And Baker was dueling yesterday again. Just wasn't enough. I thought it was a really fun game, but
Yeah, I
at
agree.
least when Tampa Bay had the
It
ball.
didn't it didn't look like it would be when it was, 21-3 or something, but
Yeah.
it did turn out to a 24-3, but it turned out to be really good, especially in the second half for the when, as you say, when the Bucks had the ball.
Yeah, and that leaves the Bucks to 3-1 now, and the Eagles, along with the Bills, are the only unbeaten teams left 4-0. That came really quick. I always feel like we usually get through at least a month of the season with like half a dozen teams, but
I know, yeah,
maybe
it does usually feel like there's a few teams that are like 5-0 or 6-0 or what have you, and then now there's only
yeah,
two left, so it's
yeah.
proving that it's a good season.
Also, that was the Eagles' 20th straight win going back to last season too, which I found out about. So we shall see, but I think they are the class of the NFC at this point right now, and I think it's pretty undeniable in my view. But yeah, we'll see. All right, I want to talk about this game because I know you want. I'm sorry, you want to talk about this game, so I'm going to bring it up now. It was Colts Rams.
Mm.
and it ends with the Rams winning 27-20, but it was really the Colts really should have won this game. And are we saying now that we believe the Colts are good? Like, are they good?
Yeah, I would say they are. In the lead up to this game, I wanted to see if they were kind of fugazi or not, if they were, like the Saints last year. But I think they proved to me in this game that it being a close game, that them having, different multiple chances to win this game, and I set out in LA. On the road, that they are for real. Obviously, Daniel Jones came back to earth a little bit, but the Rams defense is nothing to be joked about. So,
No.
but yeah, it was a really really good game. I mean, it started off kind of a little bit slow, but Puka Nacua had a great game, over 170 yards, touchdown. Devontae Adams had a touchdown, and then the thing with the Colts is that they had multiple chances to win this game, as you said. The score is 20-20, and then beautiful throw. Darby Mitchell catches the ball, spins out of a tackle, goes in for the looks like the go-ahead touchdown, only for him to, as he's crossing the plane, like fumble the ball, moving to the other hand. So the yeah, so that was a backbreaker. That was just a silly decision from him. And then the next one as well, again on him as well, was a beautiful touchdown run from Jonathan Taylor, but then negated for an illegal contact again from Adani Mitchell as well. So he cost his team the win, really, more than anything. But the Rams defense played great in this game. Jared Verse going after Daniel Jones. I think they had two picks of him, including there was the bad one at the end, where it was kind of the game sealing one. But Matt
Yeah.
Stafford had a great game as well. Beautiful touchdown pass at 2020 to Tutu Atwell. I think that was like an 88 touchdown pass or something. He had three touchdowns. So yeah, dominant from him. But pretty exciting game, especially in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. There was just looking at it here. Where's the box score? Embarrassing. Where is box score? Uh, sorry.
Is there?
Uh, yeah, there was. Usually has a little thing. I can't find it now. That's annoying. Sorry.
Is there?
I was gonna just tell you how many points were scored in the fourth quarter. But anyway, it was fun, and I did see that Atwell. So I was watching Tom. I was at the casino last night for the first time, and the new setup is really really nice. But I had the Falcons on the corner here, then the three big TVs. Then they decided to put the Ryder Cup on the TV once sort of end, which people were not happy about. But they took your they took forgot which game they took down because it was just getting they were getting boat race and nobody was there to watch it. But anyway, it was just like I had to keep turning. Normally I
Mm.
sit farther back so I can take it all in, but it was this was the game that was on the 180 to my game, so I like kept seeing it, but I don't know. But I took away that it's a game where the Colts proved something, even though they've lost,
Yep.
in my view. So and they were the team. I mean, nobody had them being 3-1. I mean, they were
No,
supposed to be one of the
no,
worst teams in
definitely
the
not.
league. And
People pick, especially defensively and stuff. People were picking them to be pretty bad, to be fair. So yeah, they've had a great start to the season, and even with this loss, there's a lot of positives to take. They could have won this game, um, and to go on the road and lose by one possession against a team like the Rams is nothing to be sad about.
if you had if you had one bet this weekend to do and you'd pick Puka Nacua for your fantasy game day, but I think you would have made some money,
Hmm.
170 yards. And that's just a quick reminder that we are sponsored by Fantasy Game Day app. Fantasy Game Day. If you scroll down and you click on the thing down, which we've been told, where all our socials, all stuff, you can see, you
Click
can
on the
get to
buttons
Fantasy.
below.
Click on those buttons below. Yes, there are buttons down there. The Fletch is made specifically for you to go hit. But please make sure to check out Fantasy Game Day. They're a great sponsor. And they have been good to us, and they will be good to you. And maybe take Puka Nakua and Bucky Irving next week. See how it goes for you. So, all right, let's get back into some of these games. Where would you like to go next, Tom?
Why don't we go to your game?
Sure. All right. The Atlanta Falcons, after embarrassing themselves last week by losing to the Carolina Panthers 30 to nothing, beat a backup quarterback and their ex-quarterback, Marcus Mariota, and the Washington Commanders, who are reeling. Yeah, and the offense comes alive. Penix showed us more, but really it was the Bijan Robinson show. He goes for 75 on the ground and a touchdown, and then also picks up another 100 yards in the air, including one really amazing long catch, um, which he did not score on, but he probably should have. It was a
The touchdown was
fun,
beautiful as well.
the touchdown was beautiful. It was a good game. I was pleased because if they had lost this game, I would pretty much have been out on the season. Yes, this early, but um, I'm still not convinced completely. But I will say that like at least there were some signs of improving, and I also think this defense, while it's really young, I'm really interested to see where they are 5 games from now because I think they do have talent, and it looks like our rookies are playing very very well. So I'm very excited about that, including I believe Watt, who was our fourth rounder.
Xavier Watts.
It's not Xavier Watt. What's his name?
I don't know. He was a pick by you guys, but I don't know.
Yeah, Xavier Watts. Yes, that is him.
Yeah.
He got yes, he they didn't give him the interception. I wonder who did get that then. I thought they gave that to him. No, it was Watts. He did get so
Yeah.
that was his first NFL interception. Fourth down, like he's looking great. Um and yeah, I don't know. I don't know quite to think of. Did you get to see any of this?
I saw bits of it on kind of red zone. It looked like kind of Falcons had taken more or less control of this game. I think they had a 10-point lead.
Yeah.
And then on desperation, I think it's from fourth down, Mariota throwing it to Debo Samuel to kind of put them back within a score.
Yeah.
But it felt like it yeah, it felt like the Falcons were always kind of more or less in control of this game. And I saw I think Drake London had a touchdown,
He
right?
did.
Um,
Yeah.
set a
Drake had a
couple
great game too.
hits.
110 yards too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like it was kind of a bit of a breakout game for, different members of this Atlanta offense that aren't just Bijan Robinson as well, because he's been
yeah.
just the focal point of everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was still just incredible as he is.
Yeah, and it sucks because it does feel like, without Jaden Daniels, this team on offense is just lost. And you can't like I know I'm not taking anything away from Atlanta because every NFL team, you got to play, but you're also playing against Marcus Mariota, who last
Mm.
week, came in and played really well. And then like he is a pumpkin. I saw it up close and personal for however many weeks he lasted as a starter in Atlanta. Yeah, and he just makes some really dumb decisions. And sometimes, yeah,
There's a
yeah,
reason
it,
he's
it
back.
never it weirdly like because the Falcons obviously they're known for not keeping leads, but
Mm.
this was one where I just never even with Mariota, usually I'd be like, oh, like I just was like, dude, they're gonna win this game. Like I know they will. So it just felt like they had to. So
What would you say in terms of, because obviously there was kind of a lot of pressure going into this game off the back of that performance last week on,
oh yeah.
yeah, whether it was, Zach Robinson, or, whether it was, your head coach as well. What did any of this kind of qualm that, or are you still?
Well, I mean, I think there's still some big questions about Zach Robinson from a schematic standpoint, and I still saw a lot of pistol yesterday, which I'm like, and like Penix had a good game. You know, some of the things that they're setting him up slightly more for success because everything is going to run through Bijan at this point. But you'd like seeing, Kyle Pitts had a good game. You'd like to see him thrown around. He just throws it so weirdly.
Mm.
Like I can't figure like because he's a lefty and he just has just the weirdest motion like of anyone I've ever seen throw a football. and it looks like he sucks, kind of. Like I don't know how
Mm.
to explain it. And like I don't think Michael Penix sucks. I'm very ha like I want him to be great. Like don't get me wrong, but there's just something
I
that
know what
just
you
feels
mean. When he
like
throws the ball up, you're like, it doesn't quite look. It's not like when you see Justin Herbert throw the ball or Josh
it's not
Allen or
pretty.
something. It's not
It's
like
not.
no, no.
But what's cool, what's interesting about Penix is every time I know he's bombing it, I'm like, oh, that's going to be a catch. Anytime I
Mm.
see him throw it in the middle of the field, I'm freaking out. So I
Yeah.
don't know. In terms of Raheem Morris, like, look, they have to go to the playoffs this year, or they have to at least win 9 to 10 games. If they miss the playoffs, and they miss the playoffs, but they have to have a winning season for multiple reasons, or everybody gets fired. There's just no, this is it.
Mm.
Like they can't. So that's why I'm not going to get too high or too low with this
Yeah.
season. Like, but if they had lost this game too, and like uh, Raheem too, last year it was the same thing. Where in under Arthur Smith we were like this too. Is we're Jekyll and Hyde. One week we play great, and then the next week we don't. And it's like what culture thing do you have to do to get things where you know you're not seeing a different team every single week. So
Mm.
I don't know. But they're also very young too. They're young. You're a young team.
Yeah,
So I,
100%. They got time to grow, and
yeah,
they definitely needed this win, and it's always good
100.
to be
Yeah.
looking back on now Victory Monday. So
Well, speaking of NFC South, might as well get the last game in the well, there's two more actually because there's two more, but we can quickly talk about the Bills annihilating the Saints. Though I feel
yeah,
like the Saints were in it for about 2 minutes.
yeah, it felt like there was a little bit where like the Bills kind of needed to wake up a little bit because even recently, even this game, I wasn't like crazy impressed with them. You know, I wasn't crazy impressed with them against the Dolphins, but they're finding ways to win. And Josh Allen did play well in this game. Passing and a rushing touchdown as well for him. Really nice pick from Cole Bishop as well. I think he's a rookie for the Bills, and that's his first interception one-handed. That was really nice. But yeah, it felt like inevitable that even when it was kind of a close-ish game, that the Bills were just one score away from winning this game anyway. So yeah,
Yeah, it definitely, yeah,
James Cook though, absolute star,
amazing.
smashing it so far this year. So
But also, do you know what Rattler's record as a starter is now? He
wow,
started, this was his 10th start as an
10
NFL quarterback.
start, 1-9.
He's 0 and 10.
Oh wow, wow. I give him credit for
So
both.
my thing is, I think the Saints are legitimately just tanking the season because you at
Mm.
least try to win, you at least put somebody else in. But I guess, yeah, number one pick coming your way, New Orleans,
Yeah, feels like
unless
that.
the Tennessee Titans have anything to say about that, which we can say they got blasted by the
Oh
Houston
yeah,
Texans, 26-0. There's absolutely nothing to talk
they
about
need to
here.
fire Brian Callahan. And as Cam Ward said, he said it quite. After the game, he was
Oh, what did he
interviewed
say?
and he said, because they were asking, what do you think of this team? And he said, we ass. So he said, like as in they're just terrible, really. There's
Yeah, their ass.
like
Yeah.
we've lost. He's like we've lost a quarter of the games already, for the season. So yeah, we're just terrible, basically. Which
What it's just
he no, I tell you what he said. He said, keeping it a buck, we ass. So,
wow. What's so crazy about that is they ran Mike Vrabel out of town because he lost that power struggle with the GM. Then they
mm.
fired the GM a year later, and then they hired, Callahan. It's just like, yeah, it's clearly not working.
And
He'll,
it was I watched this thing. Um, well, I watched Heat the Call, which they do a great job recapping the games and stuff. But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they were talking, like one of the main interviewers at the Titans just asked a very like pointed question at Brian Callahan, and he was in the interview being like, "I know what you're trying to do. I know what you're trying to do, Jerry or whatever his name was." He was like, "Yeah, well, I'm gonna keep my emotions to myself or something," because he was like, you could tell that he was really pissed off about the question that he got asked, but he wasn't gonna address it in the media because it would just make it even worse, and he knows that he's getting fired. So
Yeah. Jeez, what a mess.
didn't really
Should we
say
talk
much about
about?
the Texans really either. I mean, Woody
No.
Marks, running back, 2 touchdowns, rookie, nice. CJ Stroud, 2 touchdowns. Why the hell they traded their starting right tackle, I will have no idea. But yeah, there we go.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. So every year there's like two teams I somehow will never see anything they do the entire season. And I'm pretty sure this year it's gonna be the Houston Texans and probably the Raiders. I don't think I'm gonna
Ooh.
see up like I mean I might see a play here and there, but I'm not gonna have paid attention to either one of those teams for any reason this entire season. Um I the Texans just do nothing for me as a
Yeah,
football fan. I don't know why. But anyway, they won. And what is their record now? They're 1-3.
1-3.
Congrats.
They got their
Jeez.
first win of the year, and they got their first shutout since 2010.
You could say a lot about the NFC South, which people do, but it is at least entertaining. Even if it's a dumpster fire, at least it's fun. Whereas the AFC South is just sad. It's just like,
Mm,
that's just where bad owners go to die. I don't know. Anyway,
yeah,
um, Carol. Okay, we'll just finish. We'll wrap up this. We're all the South teams. We're just hitting all of them one after another. So, the New England Patriots totally depants the Panthers. I had money on it because I knew the Panthers would. That's their Super Bowl was last week. They won it. This week they're going to come in and they were flat. And Bryce Young was once again terrible because he wasn't playing the Atlanta Falcons for some reason. I don't know why he's only good when he plays the Falcons. Uh, Drake May looked all right. He got taken
yeah.
out of the game at one point for like a second, I think. Anyway, but
Ravon Henderson got his first touchdown, I think, as a
oh yeah,
rookie,
yeah, yeah.
which was good. But yeah, I mean, this game was just pretty forgettable. I mean, the Patriots just dominated every facet of this game, and I mean, yeah, what's it called, the Panthers went up 7-0, and then after that conceded like 40 straight points or something. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, not really worth talking about whatsoever, except for I don't know, New England's 2-2 now.
yeah, yeah, 2-2.
Oh well,
Still 2 games
I,
behind the Bills and the division.
I'm actively rooting for them not to make win this
I'm so
season,
glad I
but
didn't start Tuba Hubbard in fantasy as well. I was thinking about doing that, and I didn't.
no, get them off your team. Um, the other game that was kind of fun that I suggested we start with, which I just totally forgot about now, is the New York Giants led Jackson Dart coming in
Mm.
off the bench for Russell Wilson, and he defeats the Chargers 21-18. Really, it was actually the Giants defense that really did that. But this was a fun game. Weirdly, not a great game, but a fun game, I guess.
Yeah,
Dart, like he wasn't awesome, but he just like looked fun to watch. And Scottaboo had a game too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 79 yards, no touchdowns though. Did you see Dart run his first touchdown in when he
yeah, yeah.
scored?
He's got a bit of moxie to him, doesn't he? He's got a bit of
Yeah,
like you can tell he's got that confidence. Like it felt like the Giants had no right to win this game. But going into it, seeing how the Chargers have played the first 3 games. But they came in there with confidence. He's a rookie quarterback. He's just full of confidence and proved it in the game. When he ran for the touchdown, obviously he didn't throw for that many yards, but he showed enough as well. And as you said, the Giants defense dominated this game, especially when Joe Alt went out, the right tackle,
yeah.
the backup right tackle came in, and they were just absolutely pummeling Justin Herbert. I think he got hit 12, 13 times in this game, quarterback hits. He got sacked a few times. He threw 2 picks as well.
It was
And
a rough day.
yeah, it was a rough day for the Chargers, which I love to see as a Chiefs fan, but I hate to see the injuries and stuff as well. With obviously
Yeah.
Pete Neighbors with the injury and Joe Alt with the injury as well. But yeah, a nice bright spot for the Giants after what's been some tough times.
Yeah. I definitely hate that from Lee. And you knew I saw it when it happened. You
Oh
could
yeah,
just tell. Yes, I
you
mean he
just
was
knew.
grabbing his knee. It just
Yeah.
sucked. Yeah. I just that's like the
Can we
worst
just
part
get
about it.
rid of turf? Can we just make all the places grass? Like there's less injuries. It's like proven.
You got to
MetLife.
talk to these owners.
MetLife is, the death of players' ACLs. So yeah,
What's crazy is they're going to be playing World Cup there in a year.
yeah, yeah,
Any thoughts on Jacksonville defeating San Francisco 49ers to go 3-1, which is just insane to me.
yeah.
Um,
Why? Yeah, I
Good.
mean, this might be a bold statement because it's still early in the year, and the 49ers are 3-1, and they've got some weapons out and stuff. But why did you pay Brock Purdy 55 million a year?
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's above average quarterback, but with the game on the line, them needing him to do something, he then fumbles the ball with the Jag. I mean, this was a fumble. This was a turnover, uh, Lollapalooza of whatever. Honestly, it was insane. Both teams were trying to find ways to lose this game. Travis Hunter had a nice 24-yard catch, I think, in midfield. That was quite nice. And there was a really nice run back in this game as well. Parker Washington ran like punt return touchdown all the way
87
down.
yards. It was a good. Yeah.
87 yards. That was really, really nice.
Yep.
But yeah, it wasn't a great game, but it was kind of interesting because every time I kept looking over, I was like, oh, someone's fumbled the ball, or there's an interception, or change of hands, and
Hmm.
yeah, and then the Jags, found a way. Their defense is playing really well actually at the moment in terms of turnovers as well. They've already got more turnovers this year than they had last year, and the Chiefs are playing them next week on Monday night, so looking forward to that one. But those are my thoughts on this game, really. Christian McCaffrey couldn't really run the ball, but then was played well in the passing game. Juwan Jennings had some nice catches, got absolutely blasted a couple of times, but stayed in the game. And Brock Purdy is above average.
Yeah. He was very average. Travis Hunter still only what? Let's see here. 42 yards in this game, three catches. Still hasn't quite had his game.
No,
Did he fumble the ball too? I think he did.
I think
Yeah,
he might have done.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think yeah, he fumbled as well. Yeah, well, when you turn the ball over that much, you're not going to win,
Nope.
as they say. Uh, Chicago, Las Vegas.
Yeah,
Bears
this
win
this was
25-24 by the skin of their teeth.
it felt like the first half of this game. I was watching it and I was like, Max Crosby is single-handedly trying
Yeah.
to win this game for the Raiders. He was doing everything. He picked off a pass that got like bobbled up in the air. He caught that. He was just all over Caleb Williams. But fair play to the Bears for coming back in it. Touchdown for Roma Dunze. And it was quite nice for the Bears to finally have a thing go their way where they were the ones that blocked the kick to seal the game as opposed to it being the other way around or missing a kick or anything like that. So good for the Bears to
Or having a Hail
get a
Mary.
win. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Raiders go to 1-3. They just look terrible.
Geno Smith is ace.
Yeah, well, that's um I listened to Heed the Call this morning too, and when Dan started talking about Penix being Gino, I was like, please don't say that. Please don't say that. Uh, big fans of Heed the Call.
Mm,
Uh,
love it.
yeah, again, this is crap game. I still want to see what the Bears do when they play a good team.
Mm.
That's
I mean,
that's
their defense is pretty bad right now as well, and their offense wasn't really great in this game. There was like moments with that they had, but getting a win on the road as well. I think it's their first road win in forever as well. So
yeah.
so yeah, impressive for them. And Aston Genty's breakout game as
That's
well.
it. That's what we should talk about. Yeah, Ashton Gentry
100%.
was great, and I of
Had
course
it.
was playing against
Yeah.
him.
Yeah,
He
go on.
scored
You
he
say.
scored 56 daggone points in my big money league, which I'm still pissed about. But yeah, he had a game. Let me pull up his stats really quick while you vamp.
Yeah, he had he had a monster game, and funnily enough, he had a monster game after going back to the old stance that he had when he was at Boise State. and not the new one that he'd been using. So I
Hmm.
wonder if he'll just keep with
Hu-
that stance.
138 yards on the ground, one touchdown. Not to be outdone by two catches for 17 yards and two
Three
touchdowns.
touchdowns,
Three touchdowns he had. Yeah.
yeah, this was definitely his breakout game, especially, a lot of talk of saying, especially because the Raiders' offensive line just can't run block for anything, love nor money. That's
Yeah.
not helped with Colton Miller going out of the game, their best offensive lineman. But yeah, very impressive for him, and good rookie showing, that's for sure.
Yeah. And finally, we need like a little, Tom, I think we need like a little noise for this. Maybe we
Mm,
just go ding, and it's like, or it's there's like a dun 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 dun. Uh,
love that, love that.
Fletch, you there?
Hello.
There it is. This is why he's the best producer in the business.
What's up?
Shall we talk about, I mean, we don't have Ollie here, but should we talk about the Giants 34-10 win over Cleveland Browns?
The
I mean, we
Lions.
could, but that never happened. The Lions
What
did
did I
that.
say first?
You
The
said
Giants.
Giants.
Jeez, guys.
I mean, if we want to
Guys, let
talk
me
about
try
the
that
Giants
again.
doing it, that's fine. Um,
No, I'd like to talk about the Detroit Lions beating the Cleveland
oh,
Browns
okay,
34 to
okay.
10.
Well, I'm even more up for that. Um, yeah, it was a very, very fortunate, by the way, to get to do a preview and a review specifically on this game with Ollie on his channel over the weekend. It was nice to spend some
Love
extra
that.
time with him doing that. Both of us got to actually be homers specifically and without the judgment of Chapman for being a homer, which was really, really nice.
Judgment.
And it was a very, how do I word this game? It was a very gritty game. I think is the best way I can describe it. It wasn't full of big, exciting, explosive plays as you would think a 34-10 game was. It definitely flatters the Lions a bit. It doesn't do the Browns defense any justice having
Mm-mm.
that kind of score. The Browns defense was fantastic, very much limited the Lions in a lot of those explosive plays in getting I mean Amon-Ra had 7 catches for 70 yards, but Jameson Williams didn't really get involved. It was a lot of getting like Sam Laporta in. Jameer Gibbs got good yardage on the ground, but his average wasn't as good as it normally is. Very much a gritty just go 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 game. The real key for the game, I think, ends up being the fact that the Browns' offense is as bad as it is.
Hmm.
Very much were able to take advantage of that. Special teams for the Browns wasn't great. Khalif Raymond had an 86-yard punt return. Kept getting ourselves into some really good field positions, 2 interceptions. The special teams returns again, Khalif Raymond doing that kind of thing. That's kind of where the game really went with this. But again, I think 34-10, great score. I'm happy to win by it. I'm not going to complain. I'm sure Ollie will a little bit, and he'd be right to. But it doesn't do the Browns defense any justice,
Yeah.
and makes the Lions offense look a bit better than it was. So watch the game, not the box score on these kind of games.
Yeah, yeah.
I appreciate you saying that, Fletch. I think that's what you guys because I'm very vested in the Lions this season, mostly because of fantasy, and you didn't quite have the game you should have, and you're giving credit to the Browns, who we know have a fantastic defense. And I think it's again, I brought this up last week to you. It's stupid that they cannot get a real quarterback in that
Hmm.
building. And like I get you got these two rookies or whatever. But dude, just like give the Falcons a fifth round pick and get Kirk Cousins in there, and maybe you're gonna win more. I mean, I
Hmm.
guess if Stefanski doesn't think he's gonna get fired, then it's like, did I say it? I said the right coach, right? Because I'm just so
Yeah, you
nervous
did.
about saying the
You
wrong
did.
thing. Okay, if Stefanski, I mean Stefanski must have some really good job security right now because it's like I just don't. Why are we starting Joe Flacco? Like,
Hmm.
I mean, last week he was terrible. He's still terrible this week. Why are we starting this guy? I just don't understand that.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I mean, I was chatting to Ollie about it after the game, or kind of during the game, being like Joe Flacco is not it, and then he came back saying Joe Flacco hasn't been it since 2017. So yeah, I think it's time to go with the rookies. I think Dylan Gabriel's slated to start for the Browns against the Vikings next week, which I will be in
Jeez.
attendance at in London with Ollie, uh,
Yeah.
with all the Browns fans. So that should be a good one. But yeah, Fletcher, I wanted to ask you as well. Aiden Hutchinson had a monster game, so tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean the Browns' O line is very, very but very, very patchy at best. Very similar to, I guess, the Ravens. They have, as you'll have noticed yesterday, the O line's patchy at best. We were able to get a lot more internal pressure as well. I felt this week. Tyreek Williams had a game. I kept seeing his name pop up, but Aiden Hutchinson. I mean, we've seen him now for the last year or two. He's a monster. He just relentless all snap. From the point of the snap being taken to the whistle being blown is relentless. The only part of the he gets his two sacks. The main part I think for me for Aiden Hutchinson throughout the whole game, and this really has overshadowed it. It's quite sad the position we're at in Detroit. When he went down, when he was
Mm,
winded,
yeah.
my heart has only just gone to a normal rhythm after that. He obviously, like I said, he says he was winded and that was it, but he gets up, he can't get back up. I think half of us were starting prayer circles, some of us were starting. It's like if voodoo works, I'll just try that. We'll see whatever works. It will work. But he had a monster game, just relentless all game, and getting that internal pressure and having a guess the game that they had last week as well against the Ravens, get sacked Lamar 6 times, 7 times even.
7 times.
Just it's that D line is just getting better and better and better. And listen, we were all well, we weren't calling for Brad Holmes' head at the start of the season, but we were like for crying out loud, get him some help on the line. But
Mm.
clearly, it's didn't need to, and we should have trusted him all along. Who'd have thought?
I did see Michael Hutchison, or I did see Hutchison in a commercial last night.
Which one?
I don't remember. I was going to ask if you know which one, but I also was like, look,
Oh, I seen it. I
State
seen it as
Farm. He's in a
well.
few State Farm ones and all that.
already,
I think I saw
Um,
the same one you
it's a
did,
little
Chad.
like you gotta
Was it
like,
in
I
the
need,
locker room?
yeah, it was just,
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
yeah,
uh, I but here's what I clock in my head and look, get your money, like, but like, can we stop giving, like, he's going to be a star. He is a star, but he's like, I need him to like, I don't know. Like it just feels early. It just feels real early. It's like when Baker had those like Baker like had
he
one
had the state.
season
He
and
had
he
the
got all
State
the
Farm
state and
thing
like
as
yeah,
well,
he had
didn't
all the
he?
state. It's like,
Yeah.
come on, guys. I get it. You want to be a year ahead of these things, but you know,
And then one other thing,
yeah.
Fletch, I had on this one because obviously it's the final game we're talking about was obviously the Lions' defense, the secondary. A couple players got injured in that one, right? But
Yeah,
you're starting cornerbacks.
DJ Reed and
Do
Terry
you
and
think
Arnold both.
they'll be all right while they're out?
Tyrion should be fine by the looks of it. Shoulder injury. He went in, led with his shoulder, got hit, and I think to be fair, like I'm looking at that and thinking if I went in for that hit against a 250 pound plus, just whatever we want to call it of a man,
Hmm.
I'd have cried. My half my body would be shattered. So he'll be back next week because that's how they're built. But it looks like DJ Reed. We're gonna have to look into him a little bit more. I've not. All I've heard is it's hamstring. They're gonna
Yeah,
have a look at him. It's
candidate for
probably
IR, I think, or something. I heard
potentially. It obviously
potentially.
just depends on how that hamstring pulls up. But if you're getting carted off with a hamstring injury,
Great pick by him as well. That was really
yeah,
impressive.
really
That
good.
was that was because obviously the first one kind of wasn't really on. I mean, neither of them were really on Flacco, but obviously he didn't play great anyway. But that one from DJ Reed, I did see that one. I was like, yeah, that was a pretty nice pick. But I think that's
Yeah.
all of it, right? Man.
Yeah, I would say just as far as DJ Reed goes, it looks like we'll just have to wait for more information.
Yeah.
mm,
Which, as we all know, he'll have done his. They'll have got him into whoever the doctor is today, they'll have taken the scans. Um, I've not seen that Dan Campbell's been at the podium yet. I imagine that you'll find out, obviously, as and when I will find out as and when Dan Campbell gets to the podium. If not tomorrow, when results are back. So,
Yeah,
obviously, hope just in general, you don't want a player to get an injury. So obviously,
yeah,
hope he's all right. But that's a start. That's one of our starting corners. And after last year, please, just
yeah,
no more. We can't take it
yeah.
anymore.
Love it.
Fletch, do you watch all of Dan Campbell's post-game pressers?
No, I tend to watch the clips as they come through on
All right.
social media.
Okay.
I'm not a big post game presser type person. I'm very much a go have 16 cigarettes and calm down kind of person.
16, that's a very specific number. Um, we've got two Monday night games tonight,
Yeah.
guys. There's Broncos versus
Bengals
Bengals and
and
then
then
Jets
Dolphins, Jets.
Yeah, Dolphins
Dolphins.
Jets.
I'm going Jets Broncos,
I'm
probably
going
both favored.
I'm going
Yeah,
Dolphins, Broncos.
Dolphins Broncos. Okay.
I've gone Jets Broncos. Um, I've also gone with tonight's Miami Dolphins New York Jets game is brought to you by the Samaritans. Um, it's call someone if you need help.
Uh,
Cool.
yeah.
Sorry. Who
It's the
does the Titans play next week? Let's find out.
Titans.
Titans play the Cardinals.
They're good
Huh.
actually, isn't it? Well, no, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe.
Is that the last game for
Brian Callahan.
Brian Callahan?
I would say so. If they get blown
That's a
out,
winnable game, though.
yeah, if they somehow stay competitive in that game, he might keep his job another couple of weeks. But if not, he's out of there.
Do you not think that maybe the rookie quarterback is not buying him a bit more time?
No,
I think it's the team looks so bad. That's the
yeah,
problem.
it's
It's
not like
okay if,
Cam Ward
yeah,
didn't look good either, but the rest of the team is terrible, and
yeah,
the play calling is atrocious. And
yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I mean,
the
I've listened to a Titans fan just absolutely rave about how bad this guy is.
that's fair, and I'm gonna say who they got on off. We were talking about him the other day on the preview pod. Iomanar, Calvin Ridley, Tony Pollard, like Okonkwo, like Tyler Lockett. You've not got the
He's not
greatest
got
of
a lot. He's
talent
not got a lot.
around him. And again, I just wonder if anything like that. Just
But it's the
you go in,
defense as well. It's not just the
yeah,
offense. The defense has given up so many points, and
They can't run the ball. They can't do any
they're
like,
not a tough team. They're just
yeah, it's just, I mean, not that I'm like gone a deep dive on it, but it's just like, they're just sloppy, man. Like,
yeah,
and they've gotten worse every week,
yeah.
which
That's
is
it.
that, I mean, that's why, like, literally this week, people were talking about like, Raheem might not make the season if
Mm.
the Falcons, because like that loss last week, like, everybody, forget my French, shit the bed, like the entire
Yeah,
team. But that's been the Titans every week.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly right. And it's gone up every week as well. It's like they lost by 6 one week, then 10 next week, then 20, then 26, and didn't score a point. So it's only going one way.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm just always curious to see how other people see it. Is all.
Yeah. Um, one thing that we did not mention, which when we were talking about the game last night, was 40-40 was a scoregami,
It was yes.
which is crazy.
The Oh, what's the? I did just post it on AAW. It's the 1093rd unique score in NFL history.
Wow.
Yeah,
When it was 13-2, that was quite unique too.
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
And it was the it's the second scorigami of the year. I just did not know that there was a scorigami in week. The Bills Ravens was actually a scorigami. It just never got posted. So it's the second scorigami of the year.
Nice.
Nice. All right.
What are
Well,
we
that wraps it up.
what are we hurdling this week?
What are we hurdling?
Heard all that overtime.
Part of that overtime. Okay, we can do that.
Like it?
No questions. That's my bad. Didn't have anything unique. Watch the Naked Gun movie, the remake. this weekend.
Nice.
Not bad.
I love the original, so
Liam Neeson. He can do, it's not bad. Basically, it's like Taken, but a Naked Gun movie. It's very weird.
I went to the cinema a couple of weeks ago for the first time in years to see an adult, like a grown-up movie. Because
Mm.
normally I'm taking my daughter to watch obviously a movie for kids. See the Long Walk, the
Oh
Stephen
yeah,
King one. That was really good.
you liked
Oh,
it.
okay.
The 2 hour lecture afterwards from Mrs. Fletch on why it doesn't match up to the book wasn't my favorite, but the movie itself was really good. Recommend that one.
We're gonna go see One Battle After Another tomorrow night. I'm very
Oh,
excited.
I can't wait to watch that. It's
Very excited.
wait, does it when did it come out in the
Came
UK?
out this weekend.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I need to go and watch that this week for sure.
And I am gonna try to see Ollie for the first time ever this weekend. Maybe I'll see you, Tom. I don't know. I might come out to the stadium that day, depending. See.
I
Um,
mean, me and Ollie will be together, so you'll
I
see.
figured. I figured. So, well, guys, this is pretty much it for week 4 review. Remember to like, subscribe, hang out,
And
listen, tell
click
your
the button.
friends, click the button that Fletch spent time creating so that it's just easy for you to click the button. Please follow us on socials. Please tell your friends about us. We will have Ollie back, we swear, soon. We'll have the three of us, but also please remember to watch our friends on the preview pod, which is on Thursdays. Awesome. It's is it Meg and Sam and you?
Meg, Sam, and Carl and I.
That's right, Carl.
Carl is back.
Carl was too good for us on Monday. Just sad.
But yeah, and then there's the college pod that drops on that records on Wednesday. We've got the new fantasy football pod that records on Friday, and then the Patriots touchback pod that does a Tuesday and a Friday pod as well. So every day that if you need anything any day of the week, now we've got you. We've got you.
The fact that Meg and I have not done any Falcons content for this thing is really starting to irritate me. So that this needs, or at least a Bulldog, something. But anyway, just
Yeah.
because I know I'm the only one without a side pod, so I need a side pod.
I mean, we'll figure something out. We'll get to the drawing board and we'll figure it out.
All right, I believe you, Fletch. Tom, thanks so much. Always good to see you. Excited to see you here in London this coming weekend. Hope the games tonight are fun, and make sure you hurdle that overtime.